Oh, it didn't delay this time?
No, I didn't delay it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe my computer knows about how depressed I am right now, but it's just, we're not gonna stress you out, Lionel. You just go ahead and just go. You can do your thing. It's all good.
Oh man.
But I
Okay.
had something I want to talk to you about.
Okay, what we got?
It's low key kind of gushing about two games we've talked about before. One, a beta just ended maybe like an hour ago at the time of our recording, and the other one is probably the greatest game to not is in there for great game of the year this year.
Okay. So if I were to guess,
Mm-hmm.
it's Monster Hunter
Yep.
and Metaphor Fantasia.
Yes.
Okay.
We can talk about Monster Hunter first because I know you got to play it. I don't know how much you got to play it, but what do you think about Wilds?
Okay. First off, I'm glad it didn't come out this year.
Same.
Every game would have been fucked. Like I wouldn't have played anything else.
No.
It's really that damn good. Yeah, it actually I didn't go in with like in crazy expectations or anything. I was like, okay, it's gonna be more like World, and they're just gonna amp it up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, was I wrong. It's like the best parts of World, best parts of Rise, um, and then they added like more story elements to make it more cinematic. Like, you know, I don't know. I almost say like action like Devil May Cry, like parts of it. Yeah, it's crazy how good it is.
And I think like the wildest part about this entire thing is that we know that this is like nothing, right? Like it was
Yeah.
literally just I think it said chapter 1-1. So
Uh-huh.
we didn't even go through a whole chapter.
Yeah.
It was one story part, and then you had like 5 monsters you can hunt. And
Yeah.
man, I'm gonna tell you this.
Uh-huh.
I went in with wild expectations. And I started like earlier this week, right? Because I was able to get into the PS5 version of the beta, like the exclusive one a couple days ago. We talked about it before.
Yeah.
I went in expecting this already to be like easily a top 3 Monster Hunter game. Like I expected it just to be good, right? Like I was already prepared to be like, okay, maybe my expectations are a little too high. Maybe I should calm down a little bit. They exceeded my expectations. Just like straight up. Like I've played World Rise. I've beaten all of World. I haven't beaten all of Rise yet. I still need to. I've played Generations now at this point. I've gone back to play what was the other one? Not
Was it 4?
well, I think I played 4. Like I forget exactly which one it is now at this point. But I've gone back to play a few of them. And Lord have mercy, this Monster Hunter is Wilds is just bar none better than all of them. Like you already said, story elements fantastic. The characters already seem a lot better than they were in World. They already seem a little bit more fleshed out. Also, the fact again that we have played 1-1 chapters of Wilds.
Yeah.
The fights are so much better. Like the quality of life updates are fantastic. Having the sacred, the monster that you can ride on, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I did not like is when I was playing on Saturday, I was kind of getting rushed because I was trying to help someone do something, and
Oh,
I had to wait for a monster to come up so I can do a mission and stuff like that. Normally, it's not gonna matter, right? Because you're just gonna be able to hunt and do whatever you want, right?
yeah.
But I
Yeah.
needed to go through like a path, and since I had to wait for monsters to spawn for that path, took a while, and people were like, "Oh, we're waiting on you." It was like, I can't do anything. I have to wait or hunt something else. I'm sorry, but realistically, that's just like that was a them problem. Game is wildly fantastic.
Yeah, no, it is ridiculous. Like it is. I don't. I yeah. I you know, it's hard for me to articulate how good that game is.
Right? It really
It,
is.
it it's ridiculous, man. Like I didn't expect it. I'll just say that I didn't expect it at all. Um, and yeah, it's looks great, plays great. Oh man, it's so damn good.
Impro,
We're only in chapter 1-1.
right? Some of the weapon changes they did a good job of picking monsters to. I'm guessing those are just gonna be the ones that we're gonna fight first anyway, right?
Yeah.
They did a good job of having those monsters in. They put they put Ray Dow in there, which is the giant monster that like can spit lightning and stuff like that.
Hmm.
If you didn't get a chance to do that, bro, that fight is fantastic. I ended up doing it a little bit earlier today, after the Saint Loss, because I was, you know, feeling something, and easily that might be like one of the most fun fights I think I've done in Monster Hunter since like Fatalis and
Oh
uh
shit. Oh, okay.
yeah, it was just great. Like obviously I think Ray Dow is easier than like Fatalis. Plus, you know, we couldn't really pick our gear. We don't have that much gear to pick from for Ray Dow, right? So it's different. But the fight was so much fun. The weapon changes that they've done are fantastic.
Yes.
Charge Blade specifically, being able to go into focus mode to get your Savage Axe to work instead of having to like burn it, so you can use it separately from your shield is great. The bow changes. People have been talking about bow, but the fact that you basically have like an aimbot on the bow for your focus attack, just I can't say enough good things about that game, and I'm mad that it's gone and I have to wait 4 months to play it.
Wait. So I am going to tell you the weapon of all
Ooh,
weapons.
what you got?
I think it's the S tier. Is a fucking S tier weapon.
Uh-huh.
Gun lance.
I didn't get to play Gunlance. That's what I was playing in a world, but I just focused on Charge Blade. What is going on with Gunlance? What do you know?
Right, like gun lance, it is so fucking strong now. Like they did a lot of changes to it. Like they updated its offense now is like equal to how defensive you can be.
Uh-huh.
If that makes any sense.
Okay.
So you have ungodly defense, and now your offense matches that ungodly defense.
The one thing that I saw is that it's like you can do a little bit more combos with it now. It doesn't feel like it's disjointed as it did in like Wild and World and Rise. Like you can actually go through and you can do a bunch of stuff and it actually flows together properly. I never got to try myself though.
Yeah, it flows together really really good, and you can like spin the like as you're doing your combo, and then you do the one that spins the shells.
Mm-hmm.
You can also reload it.
Ooh, okay.
Like so, you'll spin the shells, blow them up, and knock them down, and then it'll go and you'll reload, and then you can go right back in again.
God, I should have played Gunlance. I know I should have.
It's just so good. I'm telling you, man. You'll play it, and you'll if you loved it before, you'll really love it now.
I really do enjoy it in World, and I know it's not great in World. Like it has issues. It's definitely not good in World.
Yeah.
But I haven't really heard bad things about any weapon, but I've heard a lot of really good things about specifically Gunlance also.
Yeah, like in World, it's probably like a B tier weapon
Maybe.
in best in World. I'm telling you, in Wilds, it's a S tier weapon. It's ridiculous.
I saw people also talking like wild about dual blades too. Like they're like, this is I feel like I'm in Attack on Titan because I saw the I don't know what move it is. I don't know how you get to it now, but you know that spin move that you get for dual blades.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess that's like it might be like a focus attack. So what happens is like it feels like they have like the Omni gear from Attack on Titan, and they attach to the monster, and then they fly in and then do it instead of just jumping and doing it.
Yeah.
That looks crazy too.
So I heard the worst weapon is the insect glaive, but that's always been the worst weapon. So
Yeah, I've never really been a fan of it. Like I don't. I heard that you can't really fly around too much anymore. I don't know if there's like any benefits to it anymore, but you know, whatever. I'm not really an insect glaive guy. I'm sorry for the people who do play it. If you're upset about it, sorry. You got 13 other weapons. You can also find a way to make insect glaive good in the full game, I'm assuming.
yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. You know what I want to make good? That good old gun lance. That and the fucking longsword, right? Like, I don't care. Talk all the shit you want about me for using the longsword. I love that shit.
Nah, who cares? People can use whatever they want to use. I've never gotten to the notion of like people are forced to use whatever weapon it is, or if you use longsword, whatever. People can use whatever weapon they want. There's 14 weapons for a reason.
Yeah, there's 14 weapons. So, I went through World using hammer and greatsword. Oh, and when we were both using, what was it? Not the switch, actually. It was the charge blade.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the charge blade that shit was fun in World.
I love
Come
it.
on,
I
you
love
feel
it.
like you're in fucking Gears of War, man.
Yeah, it feels that way even in like Rise now too. Because like I was saying before, you get the Savage Axe, the like spinning axe version through
Mm-hmm.
focus, and you don't have to have your shield charge for it. If you get a focus, if you get a weak point on a monster, you get the focus, you get your Savage Axe, and you can just use it. It's great. And it doesn't use files whenever you're in Savage Axe mode and you're actually doing an AED. Like you don't use any files, so you're just kind of swinging and swinging and swinging. It's so good.
Oh, about time.
It's so good.
Because it was weird when it used vials before and then it abruptly stopped you.
Yeah, no, you don't. Not anymore. The Savage X is now its own thing. You don't have to worry about trying to like lose it unless time runs out. That's really it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so great. Like I said, I wish I had more time to like play more weapons because I want to see what's going on with Hunting Horn. I didn't see that. What else did I want to see? I wanted to see the bow guns. I got to play a little bit of bow. I didn't get to really dabble with it. I didn't play hammer. I didn't play greatsword. Like, there's a lot of weapons I didn't get to play because I didn't have enough time. But that game is just the fact it was an open beta and we got it 4 months ahead. They knew what they were doing. They're confident in that shit, bro.
For sure. They knew what they were doing for sure. Like that game. Oh man, yeah, that game was good. It's damn good.
Now I got to talk to you about another one. The other game,
Okay.
the other game that I'm gushing about right now. I don't know how much you got to play Metaphor.
I have not got to play it yet.
Okay, so I'm not gonna do any spoilers. I'm gonna keep this.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep this brief then.
Okay.
Metaphor is for sure the next level of Persona if you love Persona games.
Oh, that's fantastic. Then.
Like everything that you do, like I said, I'm gonna go about this without giving any spoilers. I'm gonna be as spoiler free as possible. I'm not even gonna talk about I'm not gonna talk about people. I'm not gonna talk about anything. I might just talk about straight mechanics. All right. Mechanics wise, this is probably Atlas's best game. Straight up.
Really?
Yes. It's right now. It's impossible to waste. It's impossible to waste days because it has the day night system like Persona does, right? The job system is fantastic. We'll just call it jobs, right? The archetypes, right?
Uh-huh.
It's really good. It's really customizable. Atlas did a really good job with this for their like quote unquote first real dive at a job system. It's not really their first, I know, but like it's great. The friendship and the relationship stuff. You know how like in Persona 5, Persona 4, if you can't progress with someone that day, you just kind of have to talk to them and you don't really get anything out of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen anymore.
Oh, okay.
If you have someone that's not ready to go, they will notify you that they're not ready to go. There are some people that will progress just for the sake of progressing, so you don't have to worry about that. The other people who don't progress for the sake of progressing, you get to talk to them. You can do something for like the day, but you get something out of it.
Uh-huh.
Be it like I don't know what to call them. Like you know how you had like intelligence, courage, that kind of stuff in Persona 4 and 5.
Oh, right. Yeah. What the hell were they called?
I'm forgetting now. It sucks. I as much as I play those games, I can't remember
Yeah.
what they're called now.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Every time you deal with someone that you need to up their social link, is just what I'm going to call it for the sake of literally not spoiling anything. You will get something out of it. You will get like a little bit of progress for, I'm just going to call them what they are, for your virtues. So there's no
Okay.
like wasted time. You actually get something out of hanging out with people. Combat, intelligent. Is like, you played the demo, so I think you know that if you have enemies that are weaker than you are by a few levels, you don't have to go into turn based. You can just kill them in the overworld and you're good.
Yeah, you can fill them out right.
Fantastic
Yep.
system. It works so well. And again, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I've done now what, 3 dungeons. You know how in Persona 4 and 5 that they're all kind of low key, just like reskins of each other. And I guess Shin Megami Tensei too. I should add that too because it also has some SMT vibes. All the dungeons are the same. You're doing the same thing. You're traveling. You might have a couple puzzles here and there, but really you're doing the same thing every single dungeon you go into.
Right.
Not the case with Metaphor.
Okay.
Each dungeon has been very different to the point where the dungeon I just did had different mechanics.
Oh, okay.
Like it's just, they've done so much to this that whenever they do the next Persona game or the next SMT game, a lot of stuff needs to be in there. They need to build from this. They can't go back after this. That's how good a lot of the updates and things like that they've done in Metaphor. Plus, it also helps that these characters are probably like their best fleshed out characters they've ever made in an Atlas game.
Yeah, it seems like that.
They're also not dumb children.
Finally.
It's great. Like I said, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I did my best to not spoil anything. Metaphor has the potential to be game of the year, easily. And the fact that Atlas has published 2 games that can be game of the year, maybe even 3 if you count like Unicorn Overload. They have potentially 3 games that could be game of the year. Is wild.
I know, like, Unicorn Overlord will probably not even come close to a game of the year, but
No.
it's a fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
But it will win awards.
Oh yeah.
Like, it is a good game, but it's just like, let's see. Atlas had, well, yeah, Sega and Atlas. Jesus
Sega.
Christ.
Yeah. So remember what came out earlier this year?
Yeah, Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
We have that. And then Unicorn Overlord, Metaphor Fantasio, Persona 3 Reload. And then the SMT,
Yeah. Vengeance.
Vengeance, which pretty much is like, it's pretty much a new game. Like, they added that whole like 80 hours of game there. It's like, okay, it's a new game at that point.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they have all of those, man. Like, they're having an insane year.
It's like they know they need to make money now. They didn't do this before. Like, sure,
No.
they put out some games and stuff like that, right? Like Soul Hackers, and they put out games, but they didn't have as much. Excuse me. They didn't have as much like what is it? I don't even know what the word is at this point. But they were not these games that they're putting out this year.
Man, I don't know. This Here's a crazy thing, right? So Persona 3 Reload, um, Metaphor Refantasio, and Unicorn Overlord all hit over 1 million.
Go ahead, Atlas.
And like Metaphor Refantasio is like way over that. It's like at like 3 or 4 million or something like it's something ridiculous. They
Well,
hit 1 million in a day.
Metaphor is able to get people outside of the normal like SMT fans and the normal Persona fans. Like there are people who are now just for whatever reason people have been doubting turn-based games. Like apparently a lot of people have been like talking mad shit about like turn-based RPGs and stuff like that. That seems like that's changing now.
I'm gonna tell you this, like some of the best games that have come out in like I'll say the past 3 to 4 years have been turn-based RPGs.
Hell yeah.
Like that even includes like Baldur's Gate 3, right? Baldur's Gate 3 is a turn-based RPG.
Mm-hmm.
It's a CRPG turn-based. They're all turn-based, right? And then you have Octopath Traveler 2 that came out what was that, last year.
Yeah.
That game is insane. I don't care what anybody says. That game is ridiculous. And then there's been like other ones that have been good too, like Bravely Default 2. That one's actually really good. Like
I haven't got to play it yet. I need to.
it just flew under the radar, right? Like there was just other games that came out and it flew under the radar. But yeah, man, like like Star how can I forget Star Ocean? Second Story R.
Yeah.
Insane. That game is so good. I couldn't put it down when I was playing it, right? So I don't know. Well, that one is not really turn-based. It's kind of like actiony, but still, it's a very good JRPG. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know about the whole turn-based not good thing. Is Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that.
It's I'm not going to call them young because I don't know. They could be 40 also. It's just dumb people on the internet just saying things to say things at this point. It's the same people. It's the same people who are like really weird about Veilguard, right? Like you know those first couple reviews, people were like, "Oh my god, Veilguard, I don't know if it's so good." You know, the woke agenda or DEI, all that other bullshit, right? Look how the game's doing now.
Oh yeah, no. So I meant to send it to you the other day. They're like, oh, it, all the games that these people were talking about, they were like, oh, DEI and stuff like that. Metaphor Refantasio, the one we just talked about, is one of them.
Literally.
It's literally one of them. 4 million plus sold. Um, Dragon's Age, Veilguard, over 1 million sold. Uh, you know,
Outsold Call of Duty a week after Call of Duty came out on Steam.
yeah, yeah. I
No,
don't see anybody shouting DEI on Call of Duty though.
you know how they are. Like there's the same reason that
They're
they're not.
very selective.
There's the same reason they're not shouting DEI on Metaphor because Metaphor it takes some time to get into there. But literally, and by takes time, I mean it's literally within the first 10 minutes of the game. Did you see quote unquote DEI woke blah, that stupid shit that people say? But yeah, it's just there's spoilers, I guess. But at this point, I guess everyone knows there's a lot of racism in Metaphor.
Oh yeah.
A lot of classism. There's a lot of shit in Metaphor that people consider like, oh, it's the woke agenda, it's all this other shit, but they're fucking too stupid to see it, even though it's blatant in your face. But they won't talk about Metaphor. They'll talk about Veilguard. They're now people are spinning away from Baldur's Gate, despite the fact that they're saying, oh, Baldur's Gate is too woke a year ago when that game came out.
Yeah, and then it blew away it's true, but it blew away everybody. It was so good that they're gonna cry in the corner while still playing it. So they're like, fuck off.
I mean, they still play all the other games too. They play Veilguard. They're probably just too stupid. Like, and it's literally Veilguard. They were just upset that you can select they them. Who cares? It's not that big of a fucking deal, bro. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
that was their issue with what was it, Starfield
Yeah.
when it came out, right? Like, and here's the funny thing, right? These are the same people that they'll yell and cry at the heavens, DI, DI, woke agenda and stuff like that, and then say Final Fantasy VII is their favorite game ever.
Oh no, because they just see fucking Tifa's tits and they're like, oh my god, I love this game. They don't think about the actual game. They don't talk about the story of what's happening in Final Fantasy VII.
It's like, do you actually know what's going on there? Like, the whole game is like harsh part of the story of the game, since there's the high class, which is all the people living above pollution, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're polluting the ground down below. Everybody below that is the low class citizen. It's a the whole society in Final Fantasy VII is not necessarily racist. It's classist
Yes.
society.
Yes, it is.
So, and that's why you have all these like different classes of people everywhere. That's why you have all these like weird zones and weird areas, like middle ground zones and stuff like that. But those same people don't see that.
No, they will never look that far into that. Like I said, they see Tifa, they see Aerith, some of them see Yuffie, which you know what I'm saying, and a lot of them are like, oh my god, this game's great. They don't see story, they don't hear the story, they can't comprehend the story. A lot of them that cry about that shit are dumb. Like it doesn't matter. Like to a normal person, that doesn't matter. Like just they're
Yeah,
weird online. That's all it is.
yeah, like it's ridiculous, right? And one thing I'll shout out Metaphor for is like a lot of how can I articulate this?
Oh, I'm ready for this.
Uh, so when you look at a lot of fantasy games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just call it like it is. It's European, super white, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
In most fantasy games, and fantasies and fantasy genres, black people don't exist, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a fair assumption. It's not even an assumption. It's true.
People get mad if they see a character that is like portrayed as black. So
Right.
yeah.
Um, what Metaphor does is make it like the society that they have in there, and like all the different places, the races, and all that other stuff. Everybody exists.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we exist. Everybody exists, right? Is there's no like, oh, this is only European, white people here, right? Which or most fantasy games and stuff like that. So yeah, man, it's refreshing to see that. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And also Dragon Age Velgard. Actually, Dragon Age in general, if they're talking about Dragon Age being woke and stuff like that, they never played the first one.
Of course they didn't.
Like, play the first Dragon Age as an elf. They do everything to the elf short of saying the N word.
Bro, it's the same thing as being an Elda in Metaphor. Like
Yeah.
the blatant racism that they put on you in Metaphor is wild. It's in your face all the time. No matter where you go, it's right there. It's like, oh, Elda. Even the people that like sorry, this is gonna be a little bit of a spoiler. I'm not gonna say names though. Even people where you have like side quests for, they start by saying, oh, you're an Elda, blah 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 blah. And then they tell you their problem and they're like, oh, an Elda can't solve this. Like, bro, stop calling me hard R. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, there's that's what's funny, because like those same people that'll say Velgar's woke will go, Dragon Age 1 is the most amazing thing ever. I'm like, wait, did you not play Dragon Age 1?
I'm telling you, they didn't.
Did you not see that there's literally a whole mission of a pretty much an underground railroad and a slave trade in the original Dragon Age.
Oh, that's too woke.
So if you're an elf, you're basically your family gets you go home and your family's gone. You don't know where the fuck they are. This guy literally takes your family and puts them in a fucking cellar and is hoarding up elves to ship off and sell.
Jesus.
Like literally this is in Dragon Age 1. Dragon Age Origins. And when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. Whoa. I didn't expect it. But it is in Dragon Age 1. And it's all throughout, like, everybody, the way people act towards your character, like, if you're an elf, and, you know, yeah, man, that's why I'm like, wait, you say Velgar woke, but you love the first Dragon Age. Did you really play the first Dragon Age? Because I don't think you really did play the first Dragon Age. Or if you did play the first Dragon Age, did you ever try playing as an elf?
No, they definitely played as like clean cut, as white as possible. They probably tried to play in between the lines so they didn't like offend anybody either. Like it's just stupid shit. You know how they are.
Yeah. So I'm and I'll argue with people about that. I'm like, did you actually play the first game? I don't think you did. I'll be real with you. I don't think you did.
I mean,
Because if you did, you would know it's Dragon Age has always been like that from the beginning.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's life. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry if you pretend like you don't see it. That's life. That's what happens in life. We're two black men on a podcast. Trust me, we see it. If we don't see it on a daily basis, we see it every once in a while, for damn sure.
Yeah, or we'll notice it if it pops up in a game or something. We'll be the first ones to notice it.
Bro, literally yesterday, I went to go get a P320, right? I went to go get a gun, right? I happened to go to a place I didn't know was very very Trumpy, is what I'll say. Yeah. The looks that I got the whole time I was in there, wild. I feel like a lot of the people who scream woke DEI would crumble under the look.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like it happens. I'm sorry if you don't see it, you pretend you don't see it. I don't give a shit. It happens. That stuff can be in video games. You are very loud and very stupid. Just shut up.
Oh, they're pretty shut up right now. They're trying to say, "Oh, the numbers don't look good." It's like, guys, come on, you already lost this battle.
Fucking liars, bro. All right. Like a game outselling a Call of Duty, a very good Call of Duty, by the way. Like Black Ops 6 is a very good Call of Duty.
Oh yeah. Let's just put it like this: Black Ops 6 is excellent.
Yes. Not even just as a Call of Duty, it's a fantastic game, right?
Yeah, it's a game.
The fact that Dragon Age sold over that a week after the game comes out, a week after all the good press that Black Ops 6 is getting. Because don't look, some people on the internet are being very stupid about Black Ops already, but they are also like already Prestige 3 and have been playing the game for like 150 hours already somehow. Like some of them are being really weird about Black Ops. But
Yeah.
the general public right now still really enjoys Black Ops 6. It's a very good game. Veilguard outsold it on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
That alone tells you that it's doing well.
Yeah, it's doing numbers. Like, yeah, stop being people. Stop being stupid.
You know what? After all this, after all the rambling we said, that's really the moral of the story. Stop being stupid.
Yeah. Oh man.
But you got anything else before we end this this audio check?
Oh, okay, I got one more.
What you got?
So the one game I jumped back into because it came they got a new expansion for it, the
Ooh,
Castlevania expansion
ooh, okay.
for Vampire Survivors. Oh man, there's a reason I don't touch roguelikes, man.
Uh oh.
They're too addicting. They're way too addicting. Way, way, way too addicting. I like I loaded up the expansion because shit. Here's the thing with Vampire Survivors, right? The expansion only costs like $3.
Uh huh.
It was a full on like they added all the Castlevania characters to the game, made a Castlevania level added to it. They have all these new weapon evolutions. You get to unlock all the Castlevania characters and run around with them. And it's like, you know, that game is like, all right, I died. All right, one more time. Let me get one more in there.
Uh oh. How many Walmarts did you get before you had to stop?
Well, it's about like this to beat a level. Depending on the level, you have to last for 30 minutes, and then the Grim Reaper comes and kills you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There are times where I was just trying to fuck around and see. I was like, all right, let me try like a build where I use all the Vampire Hunter whips. So I use Simon Belmont's whip, Leon Belmont's whip. Um, what is it? I think it was like no, I didn't. I don't have Richter's yet, but just like all the Belmonts, and I'm playing Trevor or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's another place in the castle to explore. I'm like, oh shit, let me go to the castle. Go through the castle. There's like a 2D spot where you're jumping and doing all kinds of stuff, and you have to fight yourself.
Uh oh.
I'm like, oh, fuck. They changed the game around here. Okay. And then you keep going, and then you're exploring more of the castle, trying to unlock more items, trying to unlock more characters because they have these caskets around. And you go to the casket, and something spawns around it. You kill all the stuff around it, and then you go to the casket and unlock something.
Uh huh.
So I unlocked like Julius Belmont and Leon, right? So yeah, how many of those was like I would say about 4 or 5 hours worth. Easy. Easy.
Oh
Like
damn.
and sometimes like there were the full 30 minutes. And other times it was like, there's the retries in between and stuff like that where I just like flat out died because I fucked up my build.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's that game is super addicting. Super, super addicting.
That's roguelikes, man. Like you said, they are made to be addicting. A good roguelike, you can just sit and play for hours because even with the little tinkering that you can do, there's enough to like just keep you there, and you just keep going. You can start from the beginning. You get to like burn bosses once you start going through. It's just roguelikes are just they're just great.
Well, shit. Here's the thing, though, man. So that was just the Castlevania DLC.
Oh,
I bought all the DLCs. I was like, fuck it, I'll get them all. I got the Contra one.
there's a Contra one.
Yeah. Where there's like they add all the characters from Contra, and they have a Contra stage on there, and you can unlock Contra characters and stuff like that. It's like I started. I started Castlevania first
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, oh fuck, man, I want to do that, and I unlocked the boy Alucard too. I was like, oh, okay,
Uh oh.
Alucard's dope. He's always dope. So you know, but man, yeah. Oh, that game is. Whew, I have to step away from it. Just like the other game that's like gets me equally is Dead Cells.
Dead Cell's been around for a while too. I also go back to it every once in a while. If like right now it's difficult, right? Because there's 15 other things going on. But if I have some downtime and I feel like playing a game, Dead Cells is always like just download on my PC. Always.
Yeah, man. Like, and they too have a Castlevania DLC.
Oh my god.
It's so good.
Of course they do.
It's
Of course they
ridiculously good.
do.
You could use the vampire killer and everything. It's amazing. And that's the other thing I also like for both of those games. They put in those soundtracks, so the song "Vampire Killer" and all that other stuff are in there,
Mm-hmm.
and it sounds fucking amazing every time. That's like literally one of my favorite video game like songs is Vampire Killer, and then there's one more. But yeah, man,
Oh God.
so good that
Oh
I had
God.
to stop. I was like, stop.
But hey, this is a nice thing though. It's always gonna be there. Whenever you want to go back, you got a little bit of free time. You got like 20 minutes of free time. You just want to do something. You hop on and play, and you're good.
No, 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 no. Roguelikes are worse than JRPGs for me.
Oh.
They're worse. Like good JRPG, I can probably do the 2 hour 20 minutes to an hour or to 2 hours and be good.
Mm.
Roguelike, nope. Mm-mm. No, no,
That's
no.
half your day.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm fucked. Like, because my mindset too, it's like, oh no, I ain't no bitch. I'm gonna do another one. I ain't no quitter.
Especially if you get like a bad run, you're like, okay, this is my last one. You get like a bad run, you're like, fuck, that can't be my last one. I can't end there. Let me try again, and you're just stuck. You're in the cycle.
Yep. It's like, oh, you ain't gonna do me like that. Surprised they don't say. I don't think enough people have gotten to play it, but I'm surprised people don't say, "Oh, this DAI," because like half of that roster of the original roster are all black characters.
They only do it for games that they see as like quote unquote big games, right?
Mhm.
Whatever game threatens their game, those are the ones that they want to call out. That's why Metaphor didn't really get called out because is quote unquote woke, even though they don't even know what that means. As that game is, as diverse as that game is,
Yeah.
they don't talk about it.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah, man. Nah. Good shit.
That's it. Thank you all for listening to our audio check again.
The greatest audio check of all time.
I don't know when this was going to come out, but we do have another podcast that's going to be coming out this week. It's off the top rope, as you know. If you're at the end of this one, thank you. Make sure you go listen to that one. If it's out, it should be out by the time that you see this one. Or even if it's not, just check back. Go ahead and sub. Go ahead and sub. Give this one a like. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about the stuff that we talked about. And, I think that's it.
Yeah, man.
Peace.
Later, guys.